Assalamualikum wa Rahmatullahe Obarakatuhu. Innal hamdanillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Muhammad Kamrul Hussain, Department of Business Administration, Metropolitan University, Sylhet. Welcome to my virtual classroom, MKA Class Room. Now let's start today's video tutorial. Today we will try to discuss classification of finance or types of finance. So today's topic, classification of finance. So finance is the process of making efficient use of financial resources to increase the value of the firm. As the practice of finance has changed over time, so has the way financial management is classified. Finance may mainly be classified into three types. One is on the basis of ownership, then on the basis of sources, and on the basis of duration. So types of finance. So firstly, finance can be divided in three types. One is ownership basis, then basis of sources, and basis of duration. So first on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, finance can be classified as public finance, private finance, and international finance. So on the basis of ownership, it is classified as three types: public finance, private finance, and international finance. From this, on the basis of ownership, private finance can be classified personal finance, business finance, and non-profitable finance. So under the ownership basis, private finance can be also classified into three: personal finance, business finance, and non-profitable finance. And on the basis of business finance, it is classified as sole proprietorship business finance, partnership business finance, company finance, and estate business finance. So at a glance, we are seeing that on the basis of ownership, firstly it is three types: private, public, and international. Private can be again three types: personal, business, and non-profit. And again business finance, sole proprietorship finance, partnership finance, company finance, and estate business finance. Now we will see the classification on the basis of sources. It is two types: internal finance and external finance. On the basis of sources of finance, it is two types: internal finance and external finance. And external finance, again two types: institutional finance and non-institutional finance. So here we see on the basis of sources, that is two types: internal, external. And external again two types: institutional and non-institutional. Now on the basis of duration, finance can be classified as short term finance, mid term finance, and long term finance. Now here we will try to these types of finance in briefly discuss in here. Then financing on the basis of ownership. First one, public finance. Public finance actually finance for government or estate finance or local governments finance or municipal corporations are related to the public finance. It is concerned with the financial requirement, receipts and disbursement of different government bodies. International finance. International finance. International finance includes foreign direct investment, investment cash flows, decisions, capital structure, long term debt, equity, also related to the foreign countries. The most distinguishing feature of an international financial transaction is that involves more than one currency. So, it is dollar, euro, taka, rupee, etc., etc. So, it is related to the international financial transactions. Then private finance. Private finance is financing by business concerns and individuals. It is subdivided into subdivided into several categories: personal finance, business finance and non-profitable finance. Personal finance. Personal finance is that class of private finance which deals with the essentials of managing individuals' own money. Then non-profit finance or non-profitable organization finance or non-profit organization finance, a firm that does not have profit as a goal. Public non-profit companies are created by a public authority to perform governmental functions. Private non-profit firms are usually established to pursue religious, charitable, educational or social goal purpose. So that is the non-profitable finance. So here has on the category of business finance. So business finance is that business finance is concerned with the financial management of profit seeking business firm which are engaged in of trading, manufacturing, servicing or financing. It is available to enterprise of all sizes and uses of money obtained from such sources. Then on the basis of ownership, business firm are classified as sole proprietorship business, partnership business, company business or estate business. So sole proprietorship finance, partnership finance, company finance and estate business finance. Now see the sole proprietorship, and unincorporated business owned by one person. In this type of firm, the finance consists of the money invested by proprietor and his or her relatives. So whenever the proprietor use investment or earning profit, so that is related to the sole proprietorship finance. Partnership finance, and unincorporated business owned by more than one person. The funds are supplied by partners and their financial positions also differs. Company finance, a legal firm chartered by the estate to conduct business. It is an artificial being existed only in the eyes of law. The company finance represents common stock, preferred stock, bonds or retained earnings. Then last of ownership, estate business finance. The estate business firm is owned and operated by the government. The funds are supplied time to time by the government according to the need of the firm. That is the estate business firm. You can call it the railway, Bangladesh Railway, Bangladesh BRTC bus. So these are the business of estate in our country. And for the company business, you can call the several companies, Unilever, Square Pharmaceuticals, they are the company. Partnership, there are the several partnership, one or two peoples can create the partnership business, sole partnership business which has one owner. These are also try to finance their several sources and invest their business firm. So this is the ownership of finance. So on the basis of sources of finance, it is internal finance and external finance. Internal finance. So the internal finance is the fund generated internally. Internal finance consists of retained earnings plus depreciations on other non-cash charges, bonus shares, stock, dividend, etc., etc. And external finance. External finance. The financing is raised through sources outside of the firm. A bond, debenture, notes and papers fall in this category. And these external sources are two types, institutional and non-institutional. That means whenever firm take loan from the institution, that is called the institutional finance, and whenever a firm takes loans from the person or relatives, that is called the non-institutional finance. So institutional finance, if financial institutions such as bank, leasing, financing or insurance company that directs their people's money into such investment as securities. Non-institutional finance, a firm not in banking or financial service industry, the term should primarily apply to manufacturing, wholesaling or retail firms. Now we will see on the basis of duration, finance can be classified short term finance, mid term finance and long term finance. Short term finance. Short term finance is the finance which is required for 1 year or less than 1 year period for the purpose of current asset of the firm. It is needed for meeting company's temporary requirements of the firm. Short term finance is also known as working capital finance. So it is also called the working capital finance. Working capital finance. Then mid-term finance. Finance with a maturity greater than 1 year. Typically mid-term finance by banks range in maturity from 1 year to 5 years. It may have up to 10 years. That is a mid-term finance. So here we see the short-term finance is the less than 1 year or equal to 1 year, mid-term finance 1 year to 5 years or less than 10 years, and long-term finance 5 years more or 10 years more. Long-term finance is generally needed for a period of 10 years or more. It is required for financing fixed assets such as land, buildings, machinery, etc. It is financed from long-term capital funds like common stock or preferred stock, bonds, debts or retained earnings. So sometimes it is 1 to 10 years, and long term finance 5 to 10 years or 10 years more, that is the long term for finance, for the period of long term finance. This all about today. Stay home, stay safe, try to maintain a safe social distance, try to wash your hands frequently in a day. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaika. Assalamualaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.